There's a Bible prophecy about fallen angels that are chained underneath the Euphrates River. So let's get into it. So did you know that there's actually Bible prophecy and it's happening right before our eyes? So in the book of Revelation, it talks about the great Euphrates River in the Middle East. Now it says that in the last days before God destroys the earth, that this great river is going to dry up. What do you think is happening right now? Exactly this. And this is the current state. But that's not all. The Bible says that God chained up 4 fallen angels and they are in prison underneath this river. And the moment this river dries up, they will be released, and that they are going to slaughter 1/3 of mankind. So it's only a matter of time before those angels are back on this earth. So if you believe that Jesus is coming soon, I want you to comment below, Jesus is alive.
Jesus
Make
is
sure that you're
alive.
subscribing on this channel so that you can help me get the gospel out.
Same as
And I love you
this
guys, and I will
channel.
see you in the next video.
Did you know that the Bible reveals the exact location where the devil lives? Yes, you heard that right. The Bible tells us the precise location where Satan resides and where his throne is permanently established. If you look at Revelation 2:13, it says, "I know where you live, where Satan has his throne. Yet you remain true to my name. You did not renounce your faith in me, not even in the days of Antipas, my faithful witness, who was put to death in your city, where Satan lives." You only need to look at the line right above that to find the location. Revelation 2:12 addresses the angel of the church in Pergamum. The city of Pergamum had its name changed to Burma, which is now a city in Turkey, in the Middle East. According to the Bible, this is where Satan's permanent home is.
The Book of
What?
Enoch explained a group of mysterious creatures that fallen angels created today. That's what we'll be covering in the Book of Enoch. You see, the Nephilim giants are not the only hybrid beings that were created. There were also mysterious crossbreeds between animals and humans. Let me explain. The Book of Enoch mentions how the 200 watchers experimented on humans and animals to create monstrous hybrid beings. The book reads, the 200 angels choose animals on which to perform unnatural acts, including presumably humans. 200 donkeys, 200 rams, 200 goats, 200 beasts from every animal, from every bird, from miscegenation. The outcome of the demonic corruption was violence, perversion, and a brood of monstrous beings. They defiled, they begot giants and monsters now. As we can see, the Book of Enoch referred to giants and monsters, meaning there were several different hybrids created during this time, but I really want to point out what it means when these angels gathered these animals for miscegenation. This means there was some sort of reproductive process conducted by the fallen angels, and they used animal and human DNA to accomplish their experiments regarding these twisted beings. These monstrous hybrid creatures have been documented by humanity, but is taken as mythology. But what if it's far more real than we think? The Bible tells us in the days of Noah, there were non-human hybrid creatures known as the Nephilim terrorizing humanity. Let's take a look back in time at some of the most popular half-human, half-animal hybrids documented throughout history. In Greek mythology, there is a being known as centaurs in Greek mythology. The centaurs are a race of creatures that are part horse and part man, dwelling in the mountains of Thessaly and Arcadia. This could very well be one of the outcomes of the Watchers' experiments in the Book of Enoch. This is how these creatures were created. According to Greek mythology, the centaurs were usually said to have been born of Ixion and Nephili. Ixion is a human and fathered these beings, whilst Nephili is a spiritual being. Doesn't this story sound familiar as the story goes? Nephili was a cloud made into the likeness of Hera in a plot to trick Ixion into revealing his lust for Hera to Zeus. Ixion seduced Nephilim, and from that relationship centaur were created. This is basically the same story of the fallen angels creating the hybrid beings through miscegenation. Miscegenation literally means reproduction through intimate relations. There are also other creatures in Greek mythology that are half human and half animal. They are known as sirens, although most people refer to sirens as mermaids. Now in Greek mythology, they are half bird, half human creatures. And as we know, the Book of Enoch said, the fallen angels took 200 of every bird to genetically manipulate them, which created hybrid creatures. One of the most renowned places in the world that speaks of these hybrid beings is none other than ancient Egypt, as we analyze the hieroglyphs. We see how the gods of Egypt are detailed, for example, Thoth, god of writing wisdom, and magic is depicted as having a bird head and a human-like body. Also, Horus has a similar appearance. As we look at the Egyptian gods, we begin to see nearly all of the gods are hybrids between animals and humans. My question is, were these hybrids worshipped as gods in ancient Egypt? I think it is possible that the creatures created by the fallen angels through miscegenation were worshipped as gods alongside the fallen angels. Since the fallen angels could have just passed the advanced spiritual knowledge to their offspring, making them indistinguishable from an angelic being themselves. As far as spiritual wisdom, one thing we must acknowledge is that the fallen angels in heaven wanted to be worshipped as gods, and they were casted to earth and were being worshipped as gods, along with their offsprings perhaps. Some of these beings are still alive today, which is why creatures such as the Mothman have allegedly been spotted. Mothman in West Virginia, folklore is a humanoid creature reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area from November 15, 1966. He looks like he's partially a giant moth and partially a man. Two young couples fled the local woods, claiming they'd seen a terrifying creature. They recounted their story to the sheriff and reported that the entity looked human, in most respects except for its 10-foot wings and glowing red eyes. Mysterious beings that are believed to exist but haven't been proven to exist have been labeled as cryptids, and these cryptid creatures have been spotted all over the world. However, there is something very important I want to point out about these creatures. They all have something in common for the most part. They all seem to look like hybrid creatures, which is why I made the comparison between the hybrids in the Book of Enoch and these mysterious cryptid creatures. The Bible did mention in Genesis 6:4 how the biblical hybrids existed before the Great Flood, and also after. From this verse, we can further imply that a possible reason we're seeing these cryptid creatures is because they survived the flood. The Great Flood was actually meant to remove these abominations, not necessarily humans. God just knew in order to cleanse the earth, he needed to remove all of the corruption as a whole. These creatures are also known as abominations. God did not intend for these beings to exist, which is why most of them were eradicated, even if we still see small signs of their existence. It's nowhere near as bad as it was in the days of old. These hybrid creatures were terrorizing humanity, and they are even described in the Book of Enoch as demonic beings. The spirits of the hybrids who perished in the Great Flood became what we now call demons. Perhaps this is why demonic creatures such as Baphomet look like a half-human, half-animal hybrid. Actually, now that I think about it, almost every demon that is depicted are all some kind of animal-human hybrid, mainly a crossbreed between a bull and a human. Let me know what you think about that segment in the comment section below. This is the conclusion to this video.
Women are similar to cats. I know a lot of people say women are similar to cats, men are similar to dogs. I have a cat. Anytime I would bring another cat over, do you know how territorial my cat would get?
Yeah.
My cat wouldn't even let that other cat fucking near me. Hissing the entire time. Women are the same way. Women are the same way. They're not going to share their man with another woman.
Nope.
And all those famous people like Conor McGregor, I hate to call him out, with what he's doing, just because his wife doesn't leave him doesn't mean she's not hurt. What happens is over time, they start preparing their escape. How can I get the most money out of this guy while I still can and pretend like I like him, let him cheat on whoever he wants with me? I know, but that comeback's going to hurt because I'm going to take him for all he's worth.
Oh, yeah.
They plan their escape route because they don't want to be with you anymore.
When women leave you, they decided that months ago.
The Chinese economy is on the brink of collapse in just a matter of days.
The Chinese economy is hours away from a complete collapse.
China's economy is only minutes away from a total apocalyptic collapse.
The Chinese economy will completely collapse within a few seconds.
The entire Chinese economy will completely collapse by the time you finish watching this video.
China is still struggling with deflation, which has been rampant for over a year. It's also why the US economy has been growing faster than China's year on year. which puts us far ahead of them. The gap in GDP growth between the US and China is getting wider again, meaning China is not able to catch up to our economy. If this keeps going, China will never catch up to the US.
Chinese economy is near its complete collapse. 500,000 bank accounts with more than $6 billion USD is frozen and the people are left in the dark.
And this is going to haunt China for the rest of the 21st century. The 21st century will not belong to China. It should and will belong to the United States.
China just built 1 billion empty houses for nobody. These were straight up ghost cities. But I saw them everywhere. I saw them in Hunan in the south of China. I saw them in central China. I saw expansive, behemoth cities with nothing. Boulevards, 6-lane roads going nowhere. I saw metropolises so large that they were damning proof of the ticking time bomb at hand.
Chinese people are thinking ahead,
I saw the most insane structures and monuments to nothing. So why? Why won't they stop building this massive waste? They could house every single person in the country twice over. Now again, I'm gonna ask you, you're probably wondering, right? Why? Why are they still building these? Your real estate crisis is many magnitudes worse than the USA. I'm talking, you have 1 billion empty homes. That's kind of bad, isn't it? It's a disaster that has been a long time coming. Millions of people have seen their life savings go down the toilet, and for some, it's worse. If you're in the West, you might be shocked to find out how poor China actually is. And let me tell you, it is dire. China's per person GDP is only $12,556 a year. Compare that with the USA's $80,035, and you might start to see through China's propaganda. The USA is actually a full-on luxurious socialist utopia.